today will not be an authentic reaction because I just did this without my camera on. So I'm going to do it all over again from the top. My points will still be the same. Any commentary I had the first time around, I still mean it. It's going to come out a second time. And you know what? So watching it a second time may actually be good for some matured thoughts. I'll put a timestamp up above when the reaction actually starts because I wanted to talk to you for a moment and say thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button on the channel. Like I've told you before, when we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to put a poll up with about 4 dishes from my earlier batch of Indian reaction videos. I'm going to pick 4 recipes to put in that poll, and you're going to pick which one I cook. Second off, at 2,000 subscribers, I said we'd do a live stream. I've been toying with little vertical live streams lately. So we're going to do a real live stream in front of the camera. You'll type questions, I'll answer them if you're interested, and we'll go from there. Also, last thing I'm going to mention, channel memberships are up. If you want to join my channel membership, I picked the second lowest tier YouTube has for pricing. What it'll give you is early access. So if you don't want to hit the channel membership, that's fine. I love you coming here every week and watching anyways. There'll be no interruption. Every week, videos come out on their daily schedule. But if you are a member, you get to see that video just 1 week earlier. So that's what we got going on. Other than that, let's hit this video. We're watching Jamie Oliver's worst recipe yet, veggie pad thai, posted by Uncle Roger, who loves to do hit pieces on Jamie Oliver. There are many other YouTubers who have done videos about this dynamic where Uncle Roger has ripped into Jamie Oliver and ruined his career. I don't think it's ruined, but some of his internet credibility may have been shot. Let's see what happens here and if there's any defense for Jamie Oliver.
Uncle Roger haven't reviewed Jamie Oliver for a long time now. Wonder how my old friend doing.
You're going to absolutely love this recipe. This is a modern day fast food classic, pad thai. Deliciously healthy.
Why pad thai like that?
Packed with
Why so much vegetable? You sure this pad thai?
Chili egg.
Oh no, the words Jamie Oliver, veggie and pad thai, those words don't go together. Uncle Roger think this video gonna give me heart attack. I need my good morning towel for me to scream into.
A traditional recipe would have dried shrimp, it would have fish sauce, and we can't have that because we're going veggie, right? We're bigging up the veg, but I don't want to compromise on the flavour. No way, Jose. So I've kind of evolved this recipe and had some fun with it.
No, Jamie, don't evolve, don't have some fun.
Okay, so first spot I'm going to cut into here. Uncle Roger loves watching people like Uncle Gordon Ramsay cook your Asian food 100% authentic. Like you see Gordon going on that, I forget the name of the show, but he goes places and does things authentic where, like I watched one episode, they were doing something with a goat and he had to dig. They gave him a shovel and he had to dig a hole because they're cooking the goat in the ground. And, that's very authentic. The egg fried rice, I think he did it outside. Uncle Roger pointed out that if Asian people cook for you inside, they don't like you. If they use their outdoor kitchen, they love you. So that is something to be mindful of. When I see Jamie Oliver cooking Asian food, I don't see him cooking Asian food. I see him cooking westernized. And some people might say bastardized. And I think of it more as a gateway. Like he's taking the idea of Asian food and he's making it as European as possible. European, American, same thing. He's making it as, whitewashed. He's making it as white as possible. And I don't know if that's just because he doesn't think we'll like it or he doesn't think he can cook it, or I like to think it's like a primer that, you're going to eat one of his recipes and think, this was not bad. I can make this. And then you make it a few times. And then you think to yourself, you know what? I'm going to try authentic. I'm going to get some real Asian ingredients, and I'm going to try this 100% authentic. And some people might not have that courage to go that deep without having a few Jamie Oliver versions beforehand. So I'm going to give him credit for at least trying to bridge that gap, because there are still some people who think negatively of Asian food, and it's silly because when I think of Asia as a whole, you've got India that has such a rich supply of spices that their food is so flavor forward. And then I think of Chinese food, and it's a close but not quite with the flavor, but some of the techniques are very intricate, a lot more attention, say, to detail. And then when you get to Japanese food, and especially sushi, it's very, very regimented. It has to be this way. You get to Thailand, pad thai, and there's a lot of steeped tradition and stuff. And so Uncle Roger is mad that this recipe has evolved, but it might not get to some people without that. And it's always good to go back to basics and try the originals too.
Those words coming out your mouth, that's scaring all Asian people all over the world.
We've got some chili sauce,
Chili sauce wrong.
soy sauce.
Soy sauce wrong.
Now tamarind.
Tamarind, okay, tamarind correct. Sauce for pad thai is just tamarind, palm sugar, and fish sauce. That's it. If you really want to make it vegetarian, do you know?
Just to cut Uncle Roger off for a second, fish sauce, white guy fish sauce is Worcestershire sauce. That's kind of like the interchange there.
Vegetarian fish sauce also, yeah? But Uncle Roger don't recommend that. Just eat the real thing, vegan people. Life too short. Just use real fish sauce. Fish almost vegan anyway. Because fish got no leg, got no feeling, can't make sound. It almost plant.
Now tamarind, it's from a bean that's sweet and sour. It's a really important flavour in Asian cooking. And then a little sesame oil.
Sesame oil wrong.
Tofu. It's made out of
Tofu.
soybean.
Tofu for pad thai, okay. But need to be square fried tofu. Hopefully he do that.
Tofu. It's made out of soybeans, and it's a great source of protein. To get your veggie pad
Garlic
sauce
good?
going, bash up 2 cloves of
Just chop garlic enough. No need pestle mortar.
Nice and pureed. And then I'm going to use silken tofu.
Silken tofu wrong.
Put in dishes, in cubes, slices. What we're going to do is use it as a foundation of the sauce.
Tofu for sauce?
Grams.
Wait, what? No!
It's funny watching Uncle Roger freak out over this. And so what I thought Jamie was going to do with this was use the tofu. So we love cream sauces, and we try to put them in things they don't belong in. And this is kind of a way of doing that. And so you could make a very basic sauce with cream and cream cheese, and melt the cream cheese into the cream to thicken it, and then you could put some flavors in it, and you have almost like an Alfredo sauce, but not quite. So what he's doing with the silken tofu is mashing it in that to try and replicate some of that cream cheese, but in a dairy-free aspect. That's what I thought he was doing, and that's why I'm saying it again.
What Uncle Roger just watched?
Silken tofu is awesome. What? No.
He put tofu in pestle and mortar, and he's just pounding and destroying tofu. Just leg down from chair. Of course, leg down from chair. Who cooked tofu like this? Jamie, in his egg fried rice, he crushed tofu with hand. But this time, that's not even enough. He have to crush tofu in pestle and mortar. He's just destroying tofu. Jamie Oliver really is the ISIS of Asian food.
Silken tofu is ultra smooth. It'll give you a sauce so silky, it'll cling to your noodles.
Any sauce.
And earlier when Uncle Roger was saying you don't need to use the pestle and mortar to mash up the garlic, clearly Jamie did that in the pestle and mortar so he could do the tofu in it and work it into the tofu and build the whole sauce in there. If you're gonna try this, that's what you should do. I'm not necessarily sure you should try this though.
Into noodle, that how sauce work, that how any liquid work, it cling to shit. Asian people don't crush tofu like this. Uncle Roger never see white people crush tofu like this either. Where you get this recipe from, Jamie? Outer space? This must be Jamie's worst recipe so far. Why are you trying to turn tofu into sauce? Uncle Roger's sad now. Hiya, this video going so bad. Uncle Roger need to take break.
Tofu is ultra smooth. So silky.
Uncle Roger defeated now.
Then get building flavour.
You know, I wonder if after Uncle Roger is done and the camera's off, if he sits there and laughs and says, "That was awesome to watch because he screwed up so bad and it wasn't authentic at all, and this is gonna be hilarious when it gets posted," or if he truly does have a disgust.
The whole thing gonna look like vomit.
Spoon or two of sweet chili sauce. Then the tamarind. You want a nice tablespoon of this paste. Tamarind's a key ingredient in Worcestershire sauce. So, you know, it's there in your life, you just don't know it.
Okay, Uncle Roger understand why he do that. He trying to make tamarind familiar to British people. Uncle Roger use same technique to explain things to Asian people also. Like ketchup is white people's sriracha.
And that's why, not to cut him off, but that's why I earlier mentioned that soy sauce in Worcestershire, it's white people versus Asian people, same sauce. And just so you know, Worcestershire is not vegetarian or vegan because there's anchovy in it. That's like our fish that we put in everything is anchovy. Like it goes in Worcestershire sauce, goes in Caesar salad dressing. Some people put it on pizzas because the anchovies, you get them in little tins, and when you chop them up, they turn into like a paste.
Cast iron skillet, it white people walk.
It's the most brilliant flavour. And I'm going to put a little teaspoon of sesame oil in there as well.
Oh, sesame oil wrong also.
Half a juicy
Lime also wrong. Lime in pad thai you just squeeze on before you eat, not in sauce.
So part of that is the tofu is going to be way too thick on its own to be a sauce. So first he's adding some oil. He's thinking the oil will work as a binder to help hold it together. I'm thinking he's worried about the tofu breaking and the acidity from the lime, because you're gonna want some acidity in here. And yeah, Uncle Roger's gonna say you put the lime on the top at the end because you're gonna lose the lime flavor when you cook this, but you won't lose the acidity. So he's looking for an acid, like when we make salad dressing, we put oil, and I usually use lemon juice unless I'm going for like a Mexican theme, then I'll use lime. But it's the acidity cuts the fattiness of the oil in the salad dressing. Same thing like when we make mayonnaise and stuff. So I get where Jamie's coming from, trying to heavily westernize pad thai. Not really agreeing with it, but like I am trying to find some saving graces here for him.
You cook lime in high heat, it's gonna lose flavor.
Half a juicy lime, and that, my friends, is your sauce.
Look at that. That sauce looks like shit you eat on Fear Factor.
For the all-important noodles, grab yourself a packet. So these are rice noodles.
Rice noodle, correct?
Go with 150 grams.
No. You don't want to put in boiling water. It's gonna overcook noodle. Rice noodle, put in room temperature water.
Pan, and you leave those for about 7-8 minutes, but check the pack, they're all different. When
Yes, pack tell you how long to cook it for. But remember, pad thai, the noodle still gonna get cooked in wok. So don't finish cooking noodle in water. You need noodle to be a bit undercooked, then finish cooking in wok. You see that noodle, Jamie noodle, I guarantee it overcooked. Gonna be too sticky.
run them under cold water. That stops the cooking process.
See? It already overcooked.
You leave those for about 7-8 minutes, but check the pack.
Jamie, this Asian noodle, not pasta. Don't just follow instruction on box. Niece and nephew, you can't trust instruction on Asian noodle packaging. Anyway, it's all wrong. You have to cook with feeling.
And then just add a little sesame oil to stop them sticking.
Sesame oil.
Okay, you know, sometimes a second take isn't horrible, because the first time I interrupted Uncle Roger about 4 times throughout that little sequence, and I was itching to do it again this time, but I thought I can wait until he's done so I can give you my thoughts on that. In contrast to Uncle Roger and in contrast to Jamie, because I think they're both right and both wrong, and it's just heads butting. So, first off, when Jamie is using, that's obviously it's steaming hot water. That could be water out of a kettle or just the hottest water out of his tap. Uncle Roger's sitting here saying use room temperature water. And Uncle Roger says, the directions on the package don't mean anything. Cook with feeling. I'm going to disagree on that part. That's probably the only time I'm going to disagree with him saying cook on feeling, because the package, from my experience, generally the manufacturer of a product knows what they're talking about with their product. And if they tell you to use, water from a kettle or, boiling water, then you should do it. And maybe it's just to decrease the soak time, because if you put them in room temperature water, again, think about the thickness of the noodle. Like, I used to buy these rice noodles from our grocery store, and the directions were very, very basic, and they were color coded. So it was the same directions on every pasta, but it was like if you have the blue bag, soak for 2 to 3 minutes. If you have the black bag, it was soak for like 8 minutes. And the different color bags in between were different styles of noodles. Like the smallest ones were the vermicelli. And they all had the Italian names on them, which I'm not sure if that's normal for Italian cuisine. They had actually like 4 or 5 languages on the package. But we had vermicelli up to fettuccine and everything in between. Yeah, you're going to want to soak them. Now, Uncle Roger is saying room temperature, you don't want to overcook them. You want them a little raw. We would call that al dente, because you're going to cook them in the pan. Jamie is pre-doing this. And so here's where you don't know, because Jamie puts them under the cold water to shock them, stop the cooking process. So maybe he did shock them at al dente, and they're going to sit there. And then he adds the sesame oil, and now he's putting too much oil into the dish, maybe, by putting that in there so they don't stick. Uncle Roger's saying, just don't overcook them, they won't stick. What I'm going to say is just time it a little better. Start in your frying pan with your ingredients, drop your noodles in the water, and it should all work out at the end, where you can take them right out of the water and strain them and put them into the pan. That way you're not messing around with cooling anything off.
No, to stop them from sticking. Don't overcook it. Simple.
Lightly toast and bash up 20 grams
Okay.
of salted peanuts.
Peanut, good.
Give a glorious crunch to the veg. Pad Thai is that kind of brilliant mix of veggies, but then you get things like salad and herbs that are raw and cold and fresh. So there's that kind of jarring of hot and cold, crunchy and soft. It's just a brilliant thing.
Honestly, Uncle Roger, don't know if I can continue to watch this.
So there's that kind of jarring of hot and cold, crunchy and soft.
What he's saying, Pad Thai jarring of hot and cold. Where got cold thing in Pad Thai? You eating Pad Thai with ice cube, is it? What?
When somebody says Pad Thai to me, I just think of 3 simple flavors: shrimp, peanuts, and rice noodles. And everything after that is secondary thoughts. I don't think hot and cold contrast. I don't think about vegetables. I just think shrimp, peanuts, and noodles. I mean, everything else is there, but that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking shrimp, peanuts, noodles.
Jarring of hot and cold, it's just noodle dish. Keep it simple. Jamie, olive oil.
I've got some broccoli, some asparagus,
Wrong.
baby corn, the
Wrong.
old pak choy, the outer leaves.
Pak
You can-
choy. Classic mistake. Oh, how to make this dish more Asian? I know. Let's put this Chinese sounding vegetable in there. Pak choy. Woo! Yeah!
Cut the core of the pak choy in half and the baby corn. Keep the asparagus tips and finely slice the stalks.
Uncle Roger missed the other 2 things that we do to make any dish Asian. In addition to the bok choy, we also use baby corn. And any vegetables we cut on a big bias, like he just did that asparagus. That instantly turns any dish Asian, as far as white people are concerned.
Some bean sprouts here, which
Okay,
are classic
bean
again.
sprout, only correct vegetable.
And I just want to kind of click them off. This stuff can change up. What's available in the supermarkets, the markets, your budget. That's what's cool about this. Finely slice a shallot.
Shallot, correct? Okay.
Start to dry fry all the vegetables.
Wait, what? What? Dry? What the hell?
And char and give you some
Is he frying shallot with no oil at all? Oh, Uncle Roger's so upset. It not just laid down from chair. My whole body is laid down from chair. Pad Thai need oil, Jamie. Hiya. That pan just comes straight from factory. It dry as hell and he whacked shallot in there. No oil, no lube, just nothing. Walao, he just raw dogging shallot into pan. Hiya.
Okay, Jamie is going to cook this entire thing without oil in the pan. Sorry for the spoiler alert. He's going to do this because, well, I don't know if this is because, but there's a trend in American cooking where some people are trying to use no oil at all because they seem to think that seed oils, when heated, are unhealthy and cause heart disease and cancer because some people who are not doctors are citing obscure studies and promoting that. And it's funny, I was watching something the other night, I think it was last night, and they were talking about, I can't believe they're still cooking with seed oils. And I was like finally kind of annoyed enough that I thought, I'll hop on Google and ask. And I was like, why do people not like seed oils suddenly? And I found a couple articles I read where they talked about how they're unbalanced in omega-369. And that those are dietary fatty acids that we need. But it's the balance curve isn't right. Like you need whatever you're supposed to get. I'm no doctor. I don't know what you need. But whatever you're supposed to get is supposed to have, I don't know, like the 6 is out of balance in seed oils when you heat it. It's too high for a proper linear curve or however it's supposed to be, balanced, and that is causing inflammation and causing people to be, basically unhealthy in general. And they're basically using anecdotal evidence on we cook with a lot of oil and we're all fat. Our diets are not what they were 70 years ago, though, and it's not just that we're cooking with oil. It's everything is fried foods in America. Like people do not eat as healthy as they think they do, and they're looking for simple answers like it's got to be the seed oil. So it's a much more complicated issue, but that's why these nonstick pans too are very, very the demos for nonstick pans are always like, look, you can cook cheese, you can fry cheese in it without any oil in it, or you can flip an egg, because these pans are supposed to be so nonstick now that you don't need any oil, and the pan companies are kind of helping promote this subculture of oilless cooking. This dry heat is good in some ways for certain things, is not good for other things. That's kind of all I want to say about that.
Niece and nephew, use oil. It make everything cook better. Dry frying is like dry humping. Nobody want that shit.
Smokiness, so we're gaining flavour. If you dry fry asparagus,
No.
you get nuttiness.
What happened to your sesame oil? You using so much earlier. At least put some sesame oil in there. Better than this.
I'll go in with some of these bean sprouts, some of our noodles. Get yourself a little water. And this is a screaming hot pan.
Not just pan screaming.
That's the other thing. If you're going to cook dry, the pan has to be hot, hot, hot. Because if it's not hot enough to give the food almost like an instant sear, then the food sticks. Even if it's the best nonstick pan.
The screaming also.
Get yourself a little water.
The water gonna overcook noodle even more higher. The noodle gonna be soggier than baby food. What you doing, Jamie?
It kind of goes a little bit crazy now. But this is exciting, right?
It's not exciting. It's heartbreaking.
And a nice wadge of this.
Diarrhea sauce.
Okay, so that diarrhea sauce, Uncle Roger, does kind of look like peanut butter with crushed up peanuts in it. At least from this screen.
This is the fast bit, so you've got to concentrate a bit more, but it's not hard, it's exciting. So in we go.
No. Metal spoon in non-stick pan. Usually that bigger sin in Asian kitchen. But this video is so...
Okay, he's harping on the metal spoon, but that pan appears to have a waffle weave inside of it, which to me, I'm thinking is some kind of clad technology. You'll know that Gordon Ramsay is really hawking Hexclad right now. He's one of they sponsor him. If you've watched this season of Hell's Kitchen, they're all using Hexclad everything, and that's the biggest brand name in this clad technology. And these non-stick clad pans have like a waffle weave on the bottom. They're not smooth, and that's how you'll know that they're clad. And they have extremely low amounts of Teflon, and they're considered. You can use metal utensils. They're metal utensil safe. That's the whole point behind clad technology. The pans are supposed to last 10 times longer than a traditional Teflon pan because everyone buys a Teflon pan with the best of intentions to never use a metal utensil, but it ends up happening. And if you heat Teflon coated pans, if you preheat them too hot and they start to smoke with nothing in them, that smoke is actually the Teflon smoking out, and it's actually toxic. So that's why a lot of people are moving towards clad pans over Teflon, because there's so little Teflon in them, it's not a big deal. You can get those pans hot. They're oven safe for a higher temperature. You can use metal utensils in them. And, Uncle Roger should know that. He's very experienced now. So this is the only Uncle Roger complaining that I'm going to give a thumbs down to. This is the only part. Everything else been pretty funny, and mostly I agree with.
Put in non-stick pan, that's the smallest mistake.
Crushed nuts, lettuce leaves, get in some coriander, mint and basil, and
Coriander,
wedges
mint,
of
and
lime.
basil. Only herb in pad thai is garlic chive. Coriander, mint, and basil. Like, what it gonna taste like? It's just too many things, Jamie. Too many things.
And then we want a little dry fried egg. So wipe out your pan.
Dry fry again.
And of course you need a non-stick pan for this. Sprinkle with salt and chili flakes. And when it's crispy, flip it over and give it just 30 seconds. Look at that. Yeah.
The pan so new, it comes straight from factory. If you listen to it, you can hear the sweatshop worker crying.
And then the last little kiss is of soy sauce.
Soy sauce wrong.
So that, my friends,
Why vegetables sticking out like that? This food so shit, even lettuce trying to escape.
it's all I've got to do now. Get myself some chopsticks.
All you got to
Okay, so looking at that bowl in his hand, that looks like something you would see in a cafe or a small bistro that's trying to do Asian fusion, because they've got some Asian elements, but it's mostly, European based. So we would call that a fusion. It's not classically correct at all. I'm not trying to say Jamie is the best Asian preparer of Asian food in the world. Maybe this is a dish you would like me to cook. And if you want me to cook this, let me know. And I'll make it Jamie's way, and then I'll make it, so if we're called Jamie's 10% correct, I'll make it his way, and then try and bring the correctness more over to 60 or 70, but still keeping it in that fusion realm, and see if we can make something a lot better with Jamie's as the skeleton to it, as the base. Let me know if that's something you'd like to watch me do.
go to Thailand and apologize.
Let's get amongst it.
Ugh. That the worst noodle pull ever.
The use of that tofu
What the hell?
sauce is a bit of a game changer.
Asian food, the game perfect already. No need game changer, Jamie. Don't change game, change yourself.
Second,
You see,
a dish that's
he eat one
Not only is
bite.
it delicious,
Notice how
but
he
it's-
only eat one bite. No second bite. He just pushing noodle around. Even he know it.
You could see that black and white close in when he was putting it in his mouth. You could actually see how overcooked the noodles were, because of the way that they looked torn when he's putting his chopsticks in there. He's tearing the noodles. They don't have any pull to them, and because of that, you can tell that they are very overcooked.
I love it.
Look at this pad thai. Ugh.
And okay, in that beauty shot of it at the very end there, you can see the lime on it too. So Jamie knows enough, at least, that yes, he cooked the lime out in his sauce, but he is giving you that lime to do the lime squeeze at the end. Now, does Uncle Roger have anything else to say?
Want to make vegan pad thai? It's simple. Just substitute with vegan fish sauce, and dry shrimp you can substitute with mushroom because they both give pad thai umami flavor. That is vegan pad thai, very simple. Jamie Olive Oil, you're the first chef who make Uncle Roger fall down completely from chair. Uncle Roger extending invitation, man to man. When Uncle Roger hit 10 million subscribers, I'm happy to fly to wherever you are. We make one Asian dish together, okay? Can be fried rice, can be ramen, can be pad thai, you choose. And if you agree to film together, Uncle Roger will even eat chili jam with you, okay?
OMG, he just threw the gauntlets down. Now, Uncle Roger has been, like, he's done stuff with people that he's, like, he watches a Gordon Ramsay video, gives him the uncle title right away. You know, Gordon's people know this. They say, hey, check this out, Gordon. He does a shout out to Uncle Roger. They've got, like, a little bromance kind of coming together. I think he stripped him of his uncle title the second time he watched him, but gave it back the third time. Like, they're cool. I think he was trying to do that with Jamie Oliver, but Jamie never responded. So instead of Uncle Roger being, like, trying to, you know, make that bromance, I think it kind of soured in him, where it's like, bro, we can build off each other. We can be a creative community. And I think this is Uncle Roger's last attempt at an olive branch of, you know, I'm really popular now. I'm Uncle Roger. You're Jamie Oliver. You're surprisingly still popular. But together, we can be the Mount Rushmore of popularity in the online food space. I think that would be a huge, horrible opportunity for Jamie to pass on. And Uncle Roger, if you ever see this video and you stick it out to the end, I'm challenging you to go and create a Asianized version of an Italian dish. Because I bet it's not as easy as you think. With Jamie trying to make European-style Asian food, I mean, he is falling flat on his face a lot, but give the guy credit for trying. And I bet you it'd be a lot harder than you think for you to try and make a Asian, I don't know, maybe an Asian lasagna. Let's just say that. You make me an Asian lasagna and you know, try and do it 80% Asian and 20% Italian, and we'll see how many people say their nonas are rolling in their graves. All right, until next week, I've been Chef James, you've been you, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.